Hi YouTube. I did a test firing yesterday of a new acquisition by me called the Ruger LC9. I'm aware it's been out for almost 6.5 years, but I never needed to purchase one. But yesterday I visited a gun dealer and he permitted me to go through his back room, and I found a new LC9 in box. I say new, it wasn't really new. According to the test cartridge supplied with it, it was made or fired in 2011, but the gun is brand new, so I purchased it at a very good price yesterday. And if you've watched the other video, it performed perfectly, coming new out of the box. I ran a total of about 80 rounds through it today. In a little bit I'll go run another 100 through it, but I don't anticipate any failures. Yesterday's test firing involved 3 different types of ammunition, both Remington and Winchester 115 grain ball ammo, as well as some Winchester NATO 124 grain. At the end of the video session, after that was over, I mixed the leftover ammo into a couple more clip magazines full and fired them mixed in the magazine. Again, no problem. That's this gun, the Ruger LC9. It has a magazine release on the side. The one I got 2 magazines for it yesterday. The other one's flat bottom. The slide, if you have an empty magazine in it, when the gun is fired dry, the slide will lock back. You can remove the magazine thusly. To lower the slide, you would simply, place the empty magazine back in it. Either replace it with a new loaded magazine or remove the magazine. Pull back, she releases. There's another way of doing this, of course, because this pistol also has a slide stop. So you can manually lock the slide back with the slide stop. I thought for the purpose, but if you use the slide stop, you must pull back on the slide to release it. I thought I'd give you a close-up of the pistol. Most of you have probably already seen the LC9 and the newer version called the LC9S. The primary difference is the LC9 fires from a hammer with a long trigger pull. It also has a magazine safety. So you must have a magazine inserted to pull the trigger. But the LC9S did away with that and just has a striker mechanism. The advantage of that for the LC9S is it has a much shorter trigger pull. This one, you cock it, as you can see, it's kind of a long trigger pull. You got to go all the way back to there. With the LC9S, it would release at about that point. The pistol is, of course, going to be a replacement for the Remington R51, which, notice, there are holsters for the R51, contrary to what some people have said on one of my other videos. The R51, as shown in 3 videos, has been failing miserably. It will probably go back to the shop to see if Remington can fix it. It misfires, it jams, it freezes, and by freeze I mean it locks up solid. Slide won't move, nothing will move, and the only solution is pull the magazine and then work on it. And when it misfires, sometimes what happens is pulling the trigger does nothing. How does this compare to the Ruger? Well, the Ruger LC9 is noticeably smaller than the Remington. It's also shorter, even with the floor plate that's curved. So, all in all, I believe that the LC9 or LC9S is a better purchase than the Remington R51, which in my case, in the case of this one, constantly malfunctions, but I've yet to have a malfunction from the Ruger. Just for fun, I figured I'd show you the size comparison between the Ruger LC9 and a Glock 17. And if you want to be old school, the size comparison between a German Luger and an LC9. And I picked the Luger to show you because both the LC9 and the Luger have a feature in common. This loaded chamber indicator is almost identical to the loaded chamber indicator on the top of this particular World War II German Luger. That is, when there's a cartridge inside the slide, lock it back for you, it rises up so that you can tell by feel or by sight if there's a cartridge inside the slide. German Luger had the same feature. Some people don't like that feature. I do like that feature because at night sometimes you want to just slide your finger over it and make sure that the gun is loaded. The Remington R51, what you're supposed to do is peek down this little hole and see if you see any brass. I can't see myself doing that well in dim light. And I also consider it not a good system because you got to take the gun off target to see that. Whereas with the LC9 you can remain on target and you can visually see if the loaded chamber indicator is up. Really, that's about it. Ruger LC9, I like it. Laser sights are available for it. Holsters, I got a holster on order. Extended magazines are now out that'll hold 9 and 10 rounds. With a flat floor plate, the profile is reduced to just a little bit more than this. Obviously, adding the this clip-on pinky extender, it adds a little bit in depth to the profile for concealed carry. But generally speaking, it's useful because otherwise your pinky is just dangling free. There's also now on the market aftermarket grips for this that attach to add a little bulk because these grips are very thin. But anyway, that's the Ruger LC9. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like and or subscribe. Thank you. There's one other feature about the LC9 I want to mention before I forget. It comes with 2 keys. I understand the LC9S Ruger's finally dropped this. If you put this key in and you turn it counterclockwise, the pistol becomes locked and absolutely nothing can be done with the pistol till somebody inserts a key, turns it the other way, and at that point your pistol unlocks. The other useful use of the key is when you're disassembling the LC9, you can use the key to punch out the slide retaining pin. And that is in fact specifically what Ruger suggests in the catalog, or in the manual with this pistol.